GTA 6 could have a major problem. Now, I can imagine you have seen many of these videos claiming that there's some sort of ridiculous news or issues with the game, but numerous outlets are seeming to pick up on the possibility that GTA 6 could once again be delayed. Now, after that first delay, it left a lot of people disappointed to say the least, but after the trailer drop, I like to think that it did help lift people's spirits. However, if these rumours are actually true that it's going to be delayed again, I think it's going to take a lot more than a third trailer to get everyone on board with it. And that's the topic of today's video. I'm going to run through the possibilities of this delay, where the info is actually coming from, and the likelihood of it happening. I think it is worth noting that during this period of time before the biggest game of all time actually releases, there is going to be a lot of news and speculation in the air just to get clicks. So it is always worth taking everything with a huge pinch of salt. I just kind of want to debunk and break down what we are actually seeing here with these articles and who's reporting it. But quickly before we do start, it turns out that only 0.3% of people who actually tune into my content are subscribed. So if you're a newcomer here and enjoy what you see, please be sure to consider subscribing. It really does help support the channel. Looking to add GTA 6 to my list of content I do cover, as well as Cyberpunk, The Elder Scrolls, so if you do enjoy that kind of stuff, I also cover that. So I will start off right away with the rumours that has everyone talking. Now, there are a few articles that have been speculating about these insider leaks at a second delay, potentially pushing the release past May 2026. Now, to be specific, they do say it will be around September 2026, which is now more than a year away. The newly emerged information comes from Twitter user Millie A leaker with a track record that, while inconsistent, includes several high-profile scoops. Their reputation took a hit from some Hogwarts Legacy claims that turned out to be inaccurate. They previously shared largely reliable information, however, about various showcased lineups, and were also the first to leak the existence of another LEGO racing game that turned out to be the 2023 LEGO 2K Drive. Now, this supposed leaker was the same person posting information about the pricing of GTA 6 in the UK, saying it would be £69.99 for standard edition, with the deluxe and premium versions retailing for $89.99 and $109.99 respectively. Now, they predict that these higher tier editions will reportedly include early access to the game's online features, with the premium edition offering even earlier access than the deluxe. So yeah, this leakers obviously came out and got a lot of information on their hands here. Not too sure if it's going to age very well, fingers crossed that it doesn't. Now, if we do dig a little bit deeper, there was actually some more recent news that came out just over a week ago regarding Sony and their engineers. So it was actually said that PS engineers are assisting with the optimization due to the new tech being implemented. Now, this all aims to get it to that 60 FPS whilst also being optimized for the PS5 Pro on multiple graphical settings. It's also believed that they are assisting on numerous other Rockstar titles as well that are rolling out in the near future, pre-PS5 Pro 2026 update. Now, as of right now, 60 FPS is only being achieved on the PS5 Pro only, no other console whatsoever. So could this sort of tie into why a potential delay may be coming up? Now, Detective Seeds added that the source that was informing him of this information was the same one that actually told him about the PSSR improvements that were later mentioned by PS5 architect Mark Kearney. So yeah, a lot to unpack there. Detective Seeds obviously the one supplying that PS5 Pro information, and after the entire Oblivion Remastered saga, I would be pretty stupid not to trust him. He did get everything right there. But to get back to the rumor at hand with Millie A, could this PS5 Pro integration and issues they may be having be sort of tied into a possible delay if there was one at all? Like I said, this person doesn't necessarily have the greatest track record out of every leaker online, with a lot of people already calling her out in the comments. However, the post has garnered a lot of attention, over 233,000 views on X alone. Another important factor I think that we should possibly brace ourselves for is the fact that there could be a delay for this game. Like, a lot of people are excited for next year when it is coming out in May, but it could be a genuine possibility that this game is going to be delayed with just the massive scope and scale that it's going to be including. We've already seen this happen before with Rockstar. Redemption 2, their last major release, was delayed not once but actually twice before finally arriving in late 2018. I feel like it's a pattern that has almost become expected these days, yet we do somehow still manage to get disappointed every single time. But can you honestly tell me that when you went ahead and played Red Dead Redemption 2 that it wasn't one of the greatest experiences of all time? Well, I personally can't because I haven't played the story mode yet. One of my biggest gaming sins ever. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that in the comments. I've played the online mode with some Red M as well, but never actually delved into the story because these days I just simply don't have time. Despite that, everyone loves Red Dead Redemption 2, one of the most immersive experiences you'll ever find in gaming. Red Dead Redemption 2 does not become that game produced by Rockstar without those 2 delays that they had to make. The simple reality is that the delays that Rockstar actually do aren't to spite us or anything. I can imagine they want the game out as soon as possible, just like us, but they're doing it to give us the best possible game, and that's unfortunately something we're just gonna have to accept. Something I've spoke on this channel a lot about, and I'll probably continue to reference it for the future, is the Cyberpunk 2077 launch. That is a perfect example of what happens when a game comes out when it is unfinished. Cyberpunk was ready to set a new standard in gaming RPGs back in 2020, however, when it was rushed out to be released when it was quite clearly not finished, that's where it went all downhill, and for these previous 5 years, that's where CDPR have had to actually go ahead and fix their game to the point where it is now, where it is actually a very fantastic game. Probably one of the best RPGs you'll actually find out there. The public image of Cyberpunk was tainted as soon as it came out, purely because everyone saw it as a buggy mess rather than what it actually was meant to be. If we go down the same path with GTA 6, if it does come out and it is not finished, if there are bugs, if there are faults with the game, think about what that would do to Rockstar's reputation and to GTA as a whole. One of the biggest flops ever potentially, with the most hype? It is quite simple. Rockstar cannot afford to let this game flop in any way, shape or form. It needs to live up to the expectations that they set out from the very beginning. So if you are put in a scenario where it does come out on May 2026 as it has been advertised, and it does come out with a lot of bugs, a lot of faults, would you prefer that over just waiting a few more, yes long, but a few more months just to get that absolute perfect game that Rockstar have been wanting to put out for us? Yes, it is long. Yes, it is very punishing. However, it is unfortunately the most sensible and the correct choice. A delay is always necessary if it is going to make a better launch, and that is just the harsh reality of it. Yes, a disappointing reality, of one that we don't want to hear, but it needs to happen if it's going to deliver us a better game. It's quite simple. But yeah, it is all hypothetical anyway. This leaker, or supposed leaker, that I've said, that could be a complete fraud. They might just be completely wrong. They've obviously referenced a few pieces of information here in this tweet regarding the pricing as well, so they have a lot of info out there that may just be wrong. It might genuinely just be a case of someone trying to make a name of themselves and just throwing up any old random pieces of information online and being like, okay, I called that, and it is probably more than likely that this game will come out on May 2026, there'll be no problem at all, but I always do think it is good to know that another delay is a high possibility, especially with Rockstar's past Red Dead Redemption 2 and how they always go for perfection. Despite that, I do see some sort of value, especially with the PS5 Pro rumors that we have been seeing with Sony working with Rockstar. Maybe we could see a potential delay if they're not able to optimize it as well as they would like. Best thing we can do in this scenario is just wait and see what other news actually comes out. If any other credible leakers do pick up on something like this, maybe we could support the information a bit more regarding the leak, but as of right now, we just don't know. I would take it, like I said, with a big pinch of salt, but always be prepared for the possibility that a delay is very much on the cards and it could happen. If you put the expectations out there that you think is going to get delayed, just mentally prepare yourself for it, and it doesn't get delayed, then you win. Let me know anyway what you think in the comments. Do you think a GTA 6 delay is definitely on the cards, or do you think we'll actually see it on May 2026? Make sure to share all of your opinions below. As well as that, if you do want to see me actually cover a lot more GTA 6 news or just content in general, please be sure to let me know of that as well. Not looking to make it a consistent thing, however, I always do want to sprinkle a little bit of variety here and there in there. But despite that, once again, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you soon in the next GTA 6 video when I eventually do it, and have a great rest of your day.